If you've been feeling a quiet sense of pressure lately, this conversation is for you. We're a few weeks into the year now, and this is usually the moment when people start to feel behind. Not because they failed, but because they're carrying things into the new year that quietly drain their energy. This isn't about big resolutions. It's about what I am intentionally letting go of in 2026 so I can build on steadier ground. So today I want to share a few things I'm consciously letting go of this year, not as rules, but as awareness. First thing I'm letting go of is living in low grade urgency. Low grade urgency is that constant sense that I should be doing more, faster, better. Not panic, just that quiet pressure in the background. I've noticed that urgency doesn't actually create clarity. It creates anxiety and rushed decisions. I'm choosing to move at a pace where my nervous system can actually support the life I'm building. That urgency that used to motivate me now drains me of my clarity, my health, and my joy. I'm choosing steadier energy over constant pressure. Second, I'm letting go of over explaining myself. The need to justify my choices so that they feel acceptable to others. Not every choice needs justification. Not every boundary needs a full explanation. I realized I was saying yes out of habit, not always out of alignment. Clarity does not require permission. Third thing I'm letting go of for 2026, waiting for certainty before moving. Waiting for certainty before I act. I've learned that clarity usually comes after movement, not before it. Waiting for the perfect plan kept me safe, but it also kept me stuck. If you're like me and always getting ready to get ready, when would now be a good day to start? Even a small step will bring us into forward momentum. Most meaningful changes don't arrive with guarantees. They arrive through small, honest steps taken before everything feels figured out. So this year, I'm choosing progress over perfection. I used to think I needed to learn everything before I could begin. Now I see that delay had a cost, and it's okay to learn along the way. Next, carrying identities that no longer fit. I'm also letting go of identities that no longer fit. That shows up in obvious ways. Clearing out clothes I keep just in case, makeup that expired, things in my home that reflect an older version of me. But also can show up internally, roles I have outgrown but haven't consciously released. And finally, I'm letting go of pressure to stay the same version of myself just because it's familiar and expected. I kept buying backups of things I already owned. I noticed how much energy was tied up in things I never even used anymore, and I wasn't using. I stopped holding on to versions of myself that no longer fit, literally and figuratively. We're allowed to evolve. We're allowed to want more. We're allowed to expand without burning everything down. Growth doesn't have to be dramatic to be real. So this isn't about rejecting the past. It's about making room for what's next. Letting go creates space, but it's only half the work. In my next video, I'm talking about what I'm intentionally adding back this year. Not more goals, but more foundations. If this reflection resonated, that conversation builds directly on it. You don't need to overhaul your life to begin changing it. See you in the next video.